Hello friends, welcome to our third program, a special edition on how to boost your immune system in light of the COVID-19 crisis that we are living right now. And this is a very special program today because we are going to be talking about what to do, what you can do. And we have two experts here, Dr. Ben Shane DeLalande. He is a PhD in immunology and a lifestyle medicine professional, as well as Hartland's Health Department Chair. And we have Dr. Emerson, David Emerson. He's an internal medicine physician and Hartland's Lifestyle Center Medical Director. Dr. Emerson, is there any treatment or any cure for the COVID-19?
There's no vaccine at this time. There's no patentable medicine to cure it. In China, they are effectively using intravenous vitamin C, which I can discuss in a later talk. But in terms of a patentable medicine, there's nothing out at this time. And that kind of leaves us with actually the most effective tool to fight it, which is something that God's given us, our immune system. So we'd like to know how to strengthen the immune system and also to turn it on to fight the virus.
So you speak about the immune system. So there's something we can do, because that's what people want to know. And I would like to ask Dr. Shane DeLalande what we can do then.
Yeah, we can do a lot of things. The immune system is the system that God gave us to protect us from all that comes through our body. So it's a complex system. There's cells. We talk often, you might have heard of white blood cells, lymphocytes, neutrophils, all these cells. But it's not just these cells, it's also all your mucous membrane are actually playing a role in protecting you from outside. And we saw in the previous talk, that's where the virus is coming through your mucous membranes. So we can do a lot of things to strengthen the immune system, and by very simple things. You don't need expensive drugs, or it's just small change that you can make every day in your life that will strengthen your immune system and make you less susceptible to disease like the coronavirus.
So you're saying that there is not any cure, but the immune system can do it.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Those are really good news. So now you can tell us then what can we do to boost that immune system, to strengthen that immune system?
Actually, there are some lifestyle things that you can do, ways we live our life can strengthen our immune system. Something as simple as sunlight can actually boost the number of lymphocytes, the soldier cells in your body. Exposure to sunlight as little as 10 minutes a day can have a powerful effect. If you generate a fever, fevers also turn on your immune system to fight infections. Exercise can strengthen your body so that you are stronger to be able to fight an infection. Good practice is to walk 30 to 40 minutes, as much as 3 times a week, briskly. Other things that can help, a plant-based diet, lots of fruits and vegetables can strengthen your immune system. Water, drinking 6 to 8 glasses of water per day is effective in helping our immune system. Temperance in all things, eliminating alcohol, caffeine, tobacco can also strengthen our immune system. Getting fresh air and getting adequate sleep. Today, it's estimated that we're getting about 20% less sleep than our ancestors did, simply because we have electricity and we have fun things to do at night with
and we have cell phones and we have so many screens.
Yes, and so with that, just as little as 1 hour less sleep a night can make a difference in your immune system. And lastly, a lot of us are under stress, and that can suppress your immune system. Learning to be able to trust in God, to bring to Him all our concerns and cares, can also strengthen our immune system.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Dr. Shane DeLalande, when we talk about, he was mentioning these principles, amazing principles. You mentioned a couple of them to strengthen the immune system. Tell us about exercise, because we hear a lot today about exercise, but now people who are watching this program, they really want to know how to boost your immune system. What's the role of exercise in really helping them?
So, like Dr. Emerson mentioned, exercise, a brisk walk, and it can be as simple as a walk. Like I said, 30, 40 minutes walk can increase the number of lymphocytes, the number of cells that are here to fight against the infection. So if you have more cells, you're less likely to get sick because they will get rid of the virus faster. So, and it also makes them more efficient. So what is important is to do aerobic exercise, an exercise when you breathe, and that's why it's better to do it outside in the fresh air, because inside, usually when we're inside, that's where we are more likely to develop disease because it transmits better.
Excuse me, and now people cannot go to the gyms
Yeah.
because they need to be home. So walking around would be a
But
good
walking
thing on the
around,
air.
even now in these days with all these social distancing, I think you can still walk as long as you don't walk with people near you. You can still walk and be in the fresh air, and that will strengthen your immune system. Fresh air will also strengthen your lungs. Take deep breath will help your lungs, so even if you get the disease, it will help lowering the symptoms.
Excellent. So exercise, deep breathing. So what else can we talk about? Now let's talk about sunlight. You mentioned some things about sunlight that I thought it caught my attention, really interesting about how to boost your immune system.
Yes, the beneficial effects of sunlight are actually twofold. There's a direct effect of sunlight on bacteria. This was first noted actually in 1877. Researchers Downs and Blunt, they were experimenting with vials of brown sugar water. They had some vials that they had left in the shade, and they had accidentally left some in the windowsill. And in a few days, they noticed that the vials in the shade were cloudy, indicating production of bacteria in the cell, in the vials. But the vials getting the sunlight on the windowsill were clear, no bacterial infection there. It wasn't until 1892 researchers started looking at sunlight to find out, well, what part of the sunlight spectrum is actually effective in killing bacteria. They found it was the ultraviolet spectrum. And then much later, 1935, Dale Hart, in order to fight infections that were getting into surgical wounds during surgery, he found that ultraviolet light would actually kill all bacteria if they were within 8 feet of the light. So they were using those in surgical procedures to cut down the infection rate. And that's a direct effect of sunlight. But there's a second effect of sunlight. The ultraviolet range actually stimulates, strengthens, turns on the immune system. The first effect was back in 1903. Niels Fisson, he actually won the Nobel Prize for his work in treating skin tuberculosis with sunlight. The effect then was thought to be direct ultraviolet light killing bacteria, the tuberculosis in the skin. However, it was later used for bone tuberculosis and also intestinal tuberculosis, in which the sunlight isn't killing the bacteria directly. And so the effect was thought to be stimulating the immune system. When they compared the results of sunlight treatment for intestinal tuberculosis with medicine and surgery at the time in the 30s, the sunlight treatment was actually found to be more effective than the other two treatments. Viral infections were also treated. Miley reported 8 cases of viral pneumonia. The toxic symptoms of pneumonia were gone 24 to 76 hours following a simple single treatment of this ultraviolet light treatment. Mumps was another viral disease that was treated successfully with sunlight. So the question is, well, what is the mechanism by which sunlight brings about these cures? Keim, in a wonderful book called Sunlight, records several studies that demonstrated the beneficial effects of sunlight on the immune system. Turns out when ultraviolet light is shown on macrophages, those are cells that gobble up bacteria, the macrophages gobble up bacteria twice as fast.
Excellent.
At Cornell University, they did a study exposing students to 10 minutes of ultraviolet light 1 to 3 times a week, and they noticed that they had a dramatic drop in frequency of colds that they received if they got this exposure. Athletes, the University of Illinois, when they were exposed to sunlight, had a decrease in colds and viruses. That's a particularly important concept because in marathons, after a marathon, your immune system is suppressed dramatically. So athletes are continually looking for ways to strengthen the immune system to avoid that effect after strenuous competitions. They have found that the lymphocyte numbers increase dramatically when exposed to ultraviolet light. Lymphocytes are the soldier cells. They produce antibodies, they produce interferons, which are both have antiviral effects. And when you produce more lymphocytes, of course, the interferon levels go up, the antibody levels go up, and it's more effective in clearing infections. So sometimes people ask, how much sunlight do you need? Actually, as little as 10 minutes of bright sunlight to the face and hands
That's really good.
can make a marked difference in the strength of the immune system.
And I would like to add that it doesn't need to be bright sunlight. Just being outside, even on a cloudy day. So on a cloudy day, you might need more than 10 minutes.
Okay.
But just being outside, even on a cloudy day, will give you enough UV light to actually get the stimulating effect.
So that helps.
An interesting note, clouds filter out infrared and visible light, but ultraviolet light passes through the clouds. So you can get exposure to the ultraviolet light, which is what you're wanting to stimulate the immune system, even on a cloudy day.
So that's amazing. So you can go for a walk for 15 to 20 minutes. You will get light, you will get air, you will do exercise, and those things will help to boost your immune system. Not even necessarily have to go to the gym, which we cannot do it right now. Excellent, very good. So I have a question, and it's going today to any supermarket. You can see that people are taking canned food, even toilet paper, and they can take bread and the pasta. But when you go to the fruits and vegetables, are there. People are not taking those things. So what's the effect on nutrition on boosting the immune system? Has any role to play in nutrition?
Nutrition has an incredibly high role in boosting your immune system. And actually, I would like to start first by what we should not eat.
Okay.
Because there's things that we eat that actually are depressing your immune system.
Oh, please tell us.
So the first thing is refined sugar.
Okay.
Which you find, so it's the sugar, the crystal white sugar, also the brown sugar is also refined sugar. And all that sugar that you add, that you find in most processed food, that sugar is actually helping virus and bacteria to proliferate faster and prevent the immune system to work properly.
Okay.
So it's actually a poison for the immune system. So my first advice will be to cut any kind of added sugar.
Okay.
Just use your fruits as your source of sugar. Even if you want to make a smoothie or even muffins, use bananas instead of sugar. Use dates. Use natural sugars that are more complex and come in a form that will not enter your immune system. The other thing that you want to avoid is free oil.
Okay.
So because oil in excess disturb your microbiome and disturb the way you actually digest. And when digestion is disturbed, your immune system balance is disturbed as well, which makes your immune system less efficient.
So we are talking about fried food.
Fried food,
Okay.
just putting oil, but even salad dressing, free oil that you add. It's actually very good to eat nuts.
Okay.
Avocado is very good when you
excellent.
eat the avocado, and it's a very fat legume. But getting the free oil, even if it's a good olive oil, there is oil that are healthy from their content, but too much of them is actually hindering our immune system.
So we're talking about two things. Be careful with the sugar that depress your immune system, and oils, like fried things and too much oil. So these are the things we should be aware when we talk about nutrition. Which are the things that we can do then, we can eat or find?
So things that we should always eat, and especially now if you want to boost your immune system, is the antioxidant. We hear them on the news recently, antioxidant, because antioxidant help the immune system get rid of the infectious, get rid of the waste. Because when you have a cell that is infected by a virus, it dies, and that creates oxidation, which hinders the way the system functions. So antioxidants are very good. So you might have heard N-acetylcysteine and other antioxidants, but you don't necessarily need to buy a pill for that. Where you can find them in berries. Mm-hmm. You can find them in green leafy vegetables. You can find them in citrus fruits. And if you look at all the three that I mentioned, yeah, you have the berries, which are red, purple. You have the kale, the green leafy vegetables, which are green. Your citrus that are orange, yellow.
Yes.
Try to have a rainbow in your plate when you eat, with as much as possible of vegetables and fruits.
Okay.
That will always boost your immune system. That will always boost your antioxidant level. Because, for example, when we talk about NAC, that N-acetylcysteine, you can take the 1200 milligrams, which are recommended, but if you don't have the other nutrients that help NAC do its antioxidation, you will not have the effect of it, because you will need selenium, which you can have enough selenium with 1 Brazilian nut a day. Mm-hmm. Just 1 nut, okay, and you have enough selenium for your day.
Okay.
You can have your riboflavin just by a piece of bread. You will have enough riboflavin for your day. But if you don't have these two, yes, your NAC is useless. Mm-hmm. And the NAC you can find in the fruits, in the green leafy vegetables.
So better than a pill that today we don't find. Everybody's getting the vitamin C in a mm-hmm. pill, which if you have it, that's fine. But we are talking about here something better than a pill, yeah, that is found in the fruits and vegetables. You mentioned nuts.
Yep.
You mentioned whole grains as yes, bread as well. So these are the good news. It's delicious. Increase the amount of fruits, vegetables, nuts, cereals, whole grains, and that will help your immune system. That's what I'm hearing, right? Yes. Excellent. That's what we are recommending. You were talking, Dr. Emerson, and you both can elaborate on this. Today, people are in fear of getting sick, in fear how long this is going to happen. There is an economic is declining. So that causes fear, stress, mm-hmm, and above all, the uncertainty. How long is it going to take? So we were talking about trusting divine power, because we are talking about how to boost your immune system. What's the power of trusting in God in these moments?
Yes. And one of my favorite promises is in Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." Mm. If we cling to that promise, if we have some time each morning to connect with him in prayer, have a devotional where he connects with us through his written word, it will help sustain us through the day.
And actually, prayer is a very potent stimulator of the immune system. There are studies that have studied prayer and believing in an higher power, a loving God, and praying to him, making especially prayers for others. Prayers, like we mentioned in the previous program, that we're living in an individualistic society now, but actually praying for others boosts your immune system.
Great.
So another verse that I like is Proverbs 17:22. A merry heart, it does like a medicine, mm-hmm, but a broken spirit dry the bones. Mm-hmm. And you know what is coming from the bones? Mm-hmm. Your immune system is made in the bone marrow. Mm. So a merry heart, focusing on the Lord as much as you can, and focusing on others, the good of others, actually help your immune system and increase the production of lymphocytes in your blood.
Excellent. So it's time. I think this COVID-19 is taking us time of reflection. You might be home because the recommendation is to be home. So it would be an excellent time to spend with family. Prayer should be part of our family routine, trusting, helping others at the same time, in the sense of taking all the measures that we can for the good of our community. And we just want to encourage all of you to practice this simple 8 simple but deep, 8 health principles, God-given principles to help us during this health crisis. Thank you for being with us in this series of programs, and we hope that you can actually put in practice what you have been, Dr. Emerson and Dr. Shalom have been sharing with us. May God bless.